everything in our world was all right.
Yeah, Hector is a psychiatrist, and he lives a very normal, structured life. I mean, he's very studious, and everything has to be in its place, and he just starts to question his own sort of function in the world, really. He's charged with making other people happy in a way, and that he's trying to solve their psychosis and neurosis, and he doesn't seem to be getting it right. You know, all his patients seem to be miserable, and for no reason, apparently. So he becomes sort of interested in what happiness is.
That childhood moment when we experience happiness as a state of being. As a sort of eccentric, you can tell the way I'm dressed. He's a sort of surfer-loving, brilliant science professor, and he has his own sort of agenda about the happiness problem in the world, of which he is a master, and discovering new things about the search for happiness all the time.
And the last flight is not so, it is not exactly...
Absolutely.
And we hired Peter Chelson to write the script. He had done such a wonderful job of capturing what I loved about the book and the screenplay. And it was the first time, I just went, yes, this is magic and this can happen.
Happy to maintain.
To do that they can just sort of be silly and sort of break the framework, I suppose, in a way, and that happiness will survive that. I think at the beginning they both feel that their happiness is dependent on order and dependent on routine and dependent on everything functioning brilliantly, and then they learn that things can be looser.
You're breaking up with me, aren't you? No, you can't just come out with a question like that. You have to build up to it.
Happiness for me is just not having any kind of regrets or any kind of stress. Or you do need those things. You need to know what happiness is by experiencing the opposite of it. But when you get to that state of happiness, that's when those things aren't there.
Freedom. I feel that happiness is about the freedom to really be who you are, and the freedom to explore life and have no fears.
Happiness, to me, means nothing to do with being happy and laughing and screaming all the time, but it means being totally immersed in something that you worship, that you are moved by and inspired by. And I think that is the closest thing to what is called happiness that I know.